Have you ever wondered what happened to the women who loved fallen angels more than they loved God's rules? Their story is one of passion, defiance, and tragedy, a tale that transcends the boundaries of heaven and earth, leaving an indelible mark on both realms. These women, brave yet doomed, dared to love beings who were never meant to walk among them. Their celestial husbands, once radiant servants of God, fell from grace for the sake of mortal love. Together, they birthed the Nephilim, giants of unimaginable power and destruction. But their love came at a cost, one that would echo through the ages. The flood that wiped out the Nephilim was only the beginning. The true horror lay in what came after, when Archangel Michael delivered a punishment so chilling that it transformed these women into the sirens of legend, cursed to wander the earth for eternity. In the beginning, heaven was a place of perfect order. The angels, created to serve and glorify God, moved in harmony, their voices rising in endless hymns of praise. They were beings of light, untouched by the chaos and imperfection of the mortal world. But something changed. From their celestial vantage, the angels began to gaze upon the earth, and what they saw captivated them in ways they could not understand. Human women, with their fleeting lives and fragile beauty, became objects of fascination. These women were flawed, yes, but there was something about their humanity, their laughter, their tears, their capacity for love that stirred something deep within the angels. It was a longing they had never known, a desire that grew stronger with each passing day. The angels, who had once shone with the pure light of devotion, now found their radiance dimmed by the shadows of earthly temptation. On earth, the women went about their lives, unaware of the celestial eyes that watched them. Yet there was a shift in the air, a sense of anticipation that seemed to hum just beneath the surface of reality. The angels, torn between their divine purpose and their newfound desires, began to question the very nature of their existence. What was the point of eternity if they could not experience the depth of human emotion? What was the purpose of their purity if it denied them the chance to love as mortals did? One by one, the angels made their choice. They descended to earth, shedding their heavenly forms and taking on the appearance of men. But these were no ordinary men. They were beings of unparalleled beauty, their presence magnetic, their voices like music. When they walked among the villages and towns, people stopped and stared, unable to look away. The women they chose felt an irresistible pull, as if they were being drawn into a dream from which they never wanted to wake. But this was no dream, it was a nightmare in the making. The fallen angels, once servants of God, had become something else entirely. They were seducers, their beauty a mask for the darkness that lay beneath. The women who fell for them were changed, their humanity twisted by the unnatural union. They became something other, caught between the mortal and the divine, their lives forever altered by the choices they had made. When the fallen angels stepped onto the earth, it was as if the very fabric of reality shifted. Their arrival was marked by an otherworldly energy, a sense of awe and dread that permeated the air. They were not like the humans they walked among. They were taller, more radiant, their movements fluid and graceful. Their eyes held the wisdom of ages, and their voices carried the weight of eternity. The women they chose were not chosen at random. These were women of extraordinary beauty and strength, women who had caught the attention of the angels from their heavenly perch. The fallen angels used their celestial allure to ensnare them, appearing as everything these women had ever desired. They were the perfect lovers, the ideal partners, and the women fell for them completely. But there was a price to be paid for such love. The unions between the fallen angels and their human wives were unnatural, a violation of divine law. The children born of these unions were not meant to exist. They were the Nephilim, beings of immense power and insatiable hunger. They were giants, their strength unmatched, their appetites unquenchable. They roamed the earth, leaving destruction in their wake, and the world trembled at their approach. The Nephilim were a blight upon the earth, a living reminder of the angels' transgression. They were born with the power of their celestial fathers and the emotions of their human mothers, but they lacked the wisdom to control either. They grew to enormous sizes, their strength allowing them to move mountains, and their appetites driving them to devour entire villages. The world soon learned to fear them. The Nephilim were not just giants, they were tyrants, ruling over humanity with an iron fist. They took what they wanted, destroyed what they pleased, and left nothing but ruin in their wake. The humans, powerless to stop them, lived in constant terror, their lives overshadowed by the monstrous beings that roamed the earth. God watched in anger as his creation was corrupted. The world he had made, once perfect and pure, was now a place of chaos and despair. The Nephilim, born of forbidden love, had become a symbol of everything that was wrong with the world. And so, God decided to act. The Great Flood was God's final judgment, a cleansing of the earth that would wipe away the corruption and reset the world. The archangels, led by Michael and Gabriel, gathered their forces, preparing for the battle that would come. But even they knew that defeating the Nephilim would not be easy. These were not demons. They were something far worse. When the flood came, it came with a fury that shook the earth. The skies darkened, the rains fell in torrents, and the waters rose higher and higher. The Nephilim, once fearless, now knew fear. They tried to climb the highest mountains, but the waters rose higher still. Their great strength meant nothing in the face of God's wrath. The women who had loved the angels watched helplessly as their children and lovers were swallowed by the flood. For 40 days and nights, the world drowned. When the waters receded, nothing remained of the Nephilim or their fallen fathers. The world had been reset, but for some, the worst was yet to come. The human wives of the fallen angels did not drown. They survived, but survival was no mercy. Their husbands were gone, dragged to eternal chains in the depths of darkness. Their children, the Nephilim, were wiped from existence. All they had left was the guilt of what they had helped create. God's punishment was cruel but fitting. These women were transformed into sirens, forever luring men to their doom, just as they had been lured by the angels. Cursed to be beautiful yet deadly, they wandered the waters, their songs filled with sorrow and longing. They became a warning, a reminder of the consequences of defying divine law. The faithful angels who had watched this tragedy unfold now had a new task: to ensure such a mistake never happened again. They guarded the earth, watching from afar, never interfering, having learned a painful lesson. Some boundaries should never be crossed, no matter how tempting the reason. But the story does not end there. There is one more battle, one that changed everything. A fight between Michael and Lucifer himself, over something unthinkable: Moses' body. Why did Lucifer want it so badly? What secret did it hold? The battle that unfolded was unlike any other, hidden in a 3,000-year-old scripture most people have never read. This is a story of love, betrayal, and divine retribution. It is a story that challenges our understanding of heaven and earth, of angels and humans, and of the consequences of defying the divine. It is a story that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew,